Hi Gert, welcome to our show. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here, Jeroen. Thank you.
How are you? You're based in Basel, I guess, right now?
I'm based in Basel, Switzerland. Yes.
Looking at the head office behind you.
The recent head office, indeed. It's a rather young building.
Okay. Well, happy to have you in our show, and really looking forward to the conversation we're about to have. Let me start off with a question I usually start off with. When you were let's say a little Gert of 5-6 years old, what was your ambition to be at that time?
Well, I think as probably a lot of 5-year-old boys, my ambition or my wish was to become an airline pilot.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm colorblind, and in those days, that was a no-go then.
And then it was a huge disappointment, I guess?
It was a huge disappointment, but you get over it. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No. And you have a very long-standing background in finance, right? So was it also your ambition to work in the finance industry from early on?
Not really. I studied economics, and of course, then you get in close contact with most of the financial industry, or with parts of the financial industry at least. But I think a career, you cannot really plan it. I mean, it's a sequence of coincidences, and things come together from time to time. I started as a consultant. My first job was in a financial industry, and I stayed there.
You say it's a series of coincidences, but it also has to do, I think, with talent, with expertise, with hard working.
Well, I think I'm really convinced that a career, just as life, you cannot really plan it. What I did throughout my career is every 2-3 years, I asked myself 2 questions. Am I still enjoying what I'm doing? And am I still learning? And when the answers was twice yes, I said, okay, let's go for another 2 to 3 years. And it has only been on one occasion in my career where the 2 answers to the questions were no, and then I changed and I switched to Baloise Group.
Okay, because I read the other day that you basically saying, well, your career, or at least your career, your personal career, is divided in periods of 7 years each, right? So after the in between, after 3 years, you ask yourself the question, do I still like it? And then another 3 to 4 years comes up. Is that basically the division of all the separate steps you've been making so far? 7 years.
Well, yeah, looking back at the career, my career, I was indeed, I came to the conclusion that it was always in periods of 7 years.
Yeah.
By the way, 7 years in the Bible is a very long period. So it has been 7 years as a non-partner with Accenture. It has been 7 years as associate partner and partner with Accenture. Has been 7 years as the CIO in Belgium, then the CEO in Belgium, and then the CEO of the group level.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's good after 7 years. An organization, a team also needs new impulses, needs new ideas, and sometimes then you have to make space, I would say, for new ideas and new people.
The 7 years each, I'm thinking about,
Yep.
right? That's in a different context, I would say. You have also a long-standing career already within Baloise. If I'm right, 17 to 18 years already. I read that in the interview the other day that it was a Belgium interview, that it's quite rare that a Belgian person is the CEO of such a big company, because Baloise is really big, right? You have I think an estimated stock market value of 7 billion and almost 9,000 people working at Baloise. I was surprised by that notion, actually, that is rare that a Belgian guy or a Belgian person is a CEO of such a big company. Have you read it as well? Have you think about that?
Well, it's interesting. I think I was indeed the first CEO of the group, which is non-Swiss, because we are, of course, a Swiss-based, anchored in Switzerland insurance company. I think there are quite some other Belgian girls and guys who have a similar position. I think it's probably due to the fact that Belgians are giving our country and the compromises we always have to seek with different communities, different languages, and so forth. We're pretty flexible and adaptable, and that helps, of course. Although I must say that I often get asked the question, what are the differences between Belgium and Switzerland, for example? And the culture is very similar. Both countries and both citizens are rather modest, I would say, are seeking for compromises because you have these different communities living in the different countries, are a bit introvert. So there's a lot of similarities culturally between Switzerland and Belgium, and that's why I think I fit well in Switzerland, and other Belgians would fit too.
Okay. And do you think this notion of adaptation to different cultures and cultural diversity, is it one of the key things you need to apply or you need to do well in order becoming a leader or becoming a CEO? Is it one of the key pillars of becoming a good leader?